What's good? What's good, family? Usually I like to wait for a few people to jump in here before I really start talking, but I'm gonna just get to it because this is something I'm just trying to do real quick on the and check out the playback on this thing. Now today, man, I just want to give a little backstory on me, right? Since my channel deals with history and everything. I figured so you know who you dealing with. Kind of try to build up a little bit of my credibility on here since I'm new to this whole live stream thing. Pardon me, I'm a little under the weather today, so you might hear me clear my throat and taking my sways of water. So you get in the real me today. Usually with my videos, if y'all been watching my videos for a while, you see I'm not really putting my face out there yet. You know what I'm saying? I might change that up in the near future. But for now, this is how I've been doing my thing. Um, and with that being said, I figured I'd give you a little background on me since you can't see me. Just know I'm a dark skinned, handsome brother. That's all you need to know, right? And I see we got some people in the chat room. That's what's up. I appreciate y'all. Well, I ain't chatting yet, but y'all in here, man. So I appreciate y'all tapping in with me. Like I said, man, I'm under the weather right here, so just be mindful, man. Don't crucify me for my voice today. Usually, I like to record my videos and stuff like that, and I do 3, 4 takes before I actually decide I'm gonna use one of these recordings. But at least with these live streams, you get the real me, unfiltered, uncut. Ain't no recording. It is what it is. You heard? So, all right, man. So we're gonna start this up, man. Look, man. Like I said, man, it's Governor Jay back, man. Here providing facts over fiction to give you the knowledge you've been missing. Anytime you come on my channel, you need to put your emotions to the side and make sure that you like and subscribe. Uh, so I'm gonna start out with saying, man, I'm from the Philly area. I say that because your boy was born in West Philly, but I moved all around that region over there. You know what I'm saying? Spent a lot of time in Delaware County, right outside Southwest Philly. Shout out to Darby Borough. Shout out to Kyle Wynn. Shout out to Ye. Shout out all them boroughs over there, right there, East Delco. If you from out there, um, shout out to Jersey. I spent a lot of time in Jersey, out Sicklerville, New Jersey, Camden County. I remember I used to hate Sicklerville back in the day. Right, we moved out there. I used to hate y'all niggas out there. Right, but as a grown man, looking back, when I go visit Sicklerville nowadays, man, I got a real appreciation for out there. I got to real go back and live there because if I go back and live, I might hate it again. But when I go visit, it's all love. You heard? It's all love. So, um, since my page all about foundational Black Americans, man, and that's my people. I'm gonna put it like this, right? I don't really have no hatred for outsiders and everything like that. I got a lot of friends that are non-FBA. I've had non-FBA friends all my life for the most part, so it ain't a hatred thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that seems to be the narrative nowadays, is if we rocking with FBA and we identify as that means we. Like I said, I had a lot of friends that are non-FBA, but I also know that the tethers exist and the tethers are high in number. So this delineation thing gonna keep going, and y'all niggas gonna have to get used to it. All right. So with that being said, right, I done traced my lineage back a little bit. Uh, I know on my mother's side, man, we went all the way back to like not too far, but it was like the 1840s. You know what I'm saying? I had an ancestor named John Miller, I believe his name was. And that's probably gonna be the only name I'm gonna drop just because he's it's so far back. I'm not really dropping no more names in this live stream, but just know that John Miller, yeah, he came up from Virginia, Farmington, Virginia. If I'm not mistaken, and he came up to Pennsylvania in the 1840s. So this was before slavery was over. He was a freedman. Came up to Pennsylvania right outside of Philly in Glen Olden, and he worked for some Quakers He ended up buying some land off these people, Quakers, and he built a house and everything, man. I think my mother got the deed to the house to this day. All right, so that's that's on the mom's side. On my dad's side, I got as far back as the early 1890s, and then things started getting a little spooky. I kind of fell back from the whole tracing the lineage thing after that because it was like too many different names was popping up that was supposed to be the right person, and it's like I at the time I just let it go. But like I said, man, we back as far as the 1840s on the mom's side, and on the father's side, like I said, we got back to like the 1890s, 1880s or something. And then it was like I couldn't figure out who was who after that. So I didn't want to keep going, and then it had the wrong people in the wrong places on the family tree. So I kind of just stopped there, and I haven't gotten back to it yet. But what I do know is that I knew my great grandmother on my father's side. She was born in Sumter, South Carolina. Came up to West Philly way back in the day, but she's from Sumter, South Carolina. Lived on the West Philly on the South Side. If anybody know about that, holla at your boy. From what I do know is that from what my grandmother tells me on my father's side is that her grandfather came from Macon, Georgia, and of course her grandmother, like my great grandmother, came from Sumter, South Carolina. And like I said, John Miller he came up from Farmington, Virginia. We got a lot of family down there in Virginia and North Carolina as well. Uh, and we also had some folks coming out of Ohio. So my lineage is it's all over the U.S. Right? We had some freedmen in there, and we also had some slaves. So it is what it is, man. Um, let's see, man. So man, me coming up where I'm from, man, most black folks, it was a little mixture. We had white folks out there, but eventually, like the white folks all moved out, of course, and then got flooded with Africans in like the late '90s. Got flooded with a bunch of Africans, and that's pretty much what it predominantly is in that part of Philly now. Anything east, Southwest Philly, it's a whole lot of Africans out there now. You know what I'm saying? I think it's still majority FBA, but it's a lot of Africans out there now. Um, Shit, let me see, man. Your boy was a knucklehead growing up, man. I had an issue with authority. I rebelled a lot. Parents tried to keep me sheltered, but I was always fighting against that. And you know what I'm saying? Found myself trying to be a little hustler as a teenager, man, trapping whatever I could get my hands on. You know what I'm saying? And of course your boy kept getting locked up, kept getting arrested for that shit. Uh, I made a little money, but it was never enough. You know what I'm saying? It was never enough. And with the police on my ass, man, it never really worked out for me. So that was a mistake I made as a teenager getting into that lifestyle because it was never worthwhile. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I was trying to impress the wrong people. And it sounds cliche because these people were my people. Um, but I should have never cared to impress them anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was always different. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm different. You see what I'm saying? And to follow the crowd with trying to get that fast money, that was never for me. I think that's why your boy kept getting booked. That's why I kept getting booked, kept making the mistakes. Cause this shit wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm different. And luckily after catching them cases, I finally found myself, you know what I'm saying? I guess I'm still finding myself, family. Like it's still a work in progress over here. You know what I'm saying? So we trying to figure it out. But yeah, man, yeah, your boy used to do a lot of bullshit back in the day, man. And it kind of set me back. It set me back real far. And like I said, we working on it. So shit, man. I remember taking trips up to New York, fucking with them Dominicans up Washington Heights, grabbing product from them, bringing that shit down Jersey, bringing it down out Philly. You know what I'm saying? Getting whatever I could get for cheap. And I'm trying to sell wholesale and all that type of stuff. I'm trying to get that type of money. Ended up getting hemmed up a few times, man. Got indicted twice. Confidential informants ratting me out. You know what I'm saying? Spent some time in jail. Shout out to George W. Hill, Delaware County. Shout out Cannon County, Cannon County Prison or whatever they call that thing now, man. That motherfucker is off the chain, bro. But yeah, man. Shout out to the whole Jersey. Shout out to the whole Pennsylvania, man. Shout out Delaware. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me jump back a little bit, right? So, like I said, man, we moved around a lot back in the day. Like I said, I spent a lot of time in Darby Borough. Shout out to Dodge City. Um, but I also spent a lot of time moving around, man. Before we settled in Darby, like we moved all over the place at one point. Me, my mom, and my step pop came along when I was a young buck. He been around. Shout out to my step pop, shout out Mom Dukes. We moved around a lot, man. From like apartment to apartment to apartment to apartment. At one point, we was down in Delaware. Man, we was all over the place, man. Until we settled right there. Went to we was in Yane, Park Lane, not Park Lane, Park View, all that area over there, and ended up settling in Darby Borough, and I was out there for a while, man, nice little while. Started rebelling, started drawing back in like sixth grade, man. That's when I started really kind of going left. When I got to middle school, I was like all the way left at that point. By middle school, by 12 years old, man, I was kind of like, I was shot out, man, trying to do a little too much, trying to be extra, you know what I'm saying? And my peeps sent me out to Cali. I got some family that moved out to California, and went out to California for about a year. Stayed out there with my aunt, shout out auntie, and my uncle. Uh, and my uncle, he's got a I'm not, like I said, I'm not drunk. My uncle, he's clicked in real heavy in Hollywood. So this whole content creation, film production type of thing, I always had an interest in it based off of my uncle, because, like I said, he's tapped in with a lot of heavy hitters, and he's been like